Scott Fitzgerald.
I keep looking at the man playing piano, and I, believe it or not, recognize his face from some old sheet music.
I'll never write a great lyric, and my talent really lies in drinking.
He didn't write the music, did he? That's not possible.
What kind of books do you write?
Where am I?
Josh, where's the campsite? It's coming up just ahead over there.
Are you scared of the dark?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm with my friends. I'm okay.
Are you? Field of Geeks presents
The Super Unknown.
Hello and welcome to the Super Unknown. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
And I'm Dave.
Dave, finally got you back on. It's been like 2 episodes, man.
I know.
You're a busy man.
Was busy. And now I'm not.
But, hey, you brought us the candle last couple episodes ago. So
I know.
You want to tell the world about the candle?
The John's
Candles?
Wicks.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a line of mandals, male candles, for when you're taking your daily constitutionals.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's there to light and cover your shame.
I like how you worded that.
Well, I know from experience that I hit a taco, like a taco buffet on Friday night.
Oh, no.
Oh, my Lord. Well, I hit the taco buffet.
Big candle.
Yeah, it was a taco bar, and then I drank a lot, and then Saturday morning, like 4:30, I woke up, I'm like, whoa.
It's a rumbly.
Oh, man. And it was...
Rumbles.
You have like an earthquake meter? It's like...
There's a deep-seated evil that came out that morning.
Not now, honey.
Run, kids!
War.
Oh, man, I was like, whew.
I must battle this alone.
So the John's Wicks, man, came in.
Nice.
It's,
That's a lovely smell. So, yeah.
You've been out in the woods for a moment then, looking for these candles.
He has. He's
For the
fine.
bonfire.
He found the ingredients.
Yeah, no.
Dave's been away from the bonfire for some time.
Yes. But he's back, so that's great.
Friend of Bigfoot now.
Yeah, today's topic, of course, comes from Juan. Time slips. I was like, what is time slips? And so I did some research off of what you sent, the notes, and it's not like time travel. It's basically, it is time travel, but it's without mechanics of time travel. So it's like all paranormal events, basically. People have claimed they were instantly transported into the past of wherever they were currently. So, and they can remain in that state for minutes, hours. I think that's as high as it goes, but yeah. Basically, it's hard to kind of prove, but Hollywood is no stranger to this phenomenon, and of course, they probably title it as time travel because it's more appealing. Time travel is more, attractive and all that. But yeah, About Time is a film. Somewhere in Time, The Butterfly Effect, and The Time Traveler's Wife are basically time slip films. Requires no machine to take you back into time. So, yeah.
What was that one movie? The guy had like a radio and talked to his dad?
Too. Yes, but that was technically mechanical. But I know what you're talking about. Wasn't radio. That wasn't that.
No, it was like a ham radio, right?
It was, yeah.
But he was he was older and he was talking
Dennis
to his...
Quaid was in it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I've heard about this movie. I've never seen it.
It's good.
and
Frequency.
Oh, and wasn't it the guy who played Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah.
He thinks he's Jesus.
And he got
Yeah.
No, he was Jesus in the movie.
Oh, I know, but he thinks he is, I think.
Does he think he is now?
Kind of debatable.
He got struck by lightning. Maybe that was the thing.
Yeah.
He was playing Jesus and then got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And his initials, JC.
Jason Cavill or something? Or?
Yeah.
Lock Pickett.
Jim Caviezel. That's
Jim Caviezel, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Frequency is a good one too.
Yeah.
That's something I did not have on my list, but yes, that is a good one. That has kind of a mechanical element, but it's a time slip, you could say. through radio. That's
Ham
a really
radio.
good movie. That's a good
That was
movie.
Ham slipping through time.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that sounds
Watch
good.
this Frequency movie now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was good. It was a good.
About Time's really good too. It's
Okay.
it's like
feel
passed
like I
down
should put it
from
on
generation
my
to
hat,
generation.
but,
You should be proud of your hat.
Just in case somebody's listening, I did not have a hat on, and the other two did.
And now the vibe's better.
They're like,
I didn't realize that until just now. A lot of things are coming full circle today.
That's all we do. Is go full circle, right?
just slipping in a circle.
Yes, yes. Bear witness.
Oh, wow.
And speaking of witnesses to these events, it can range from just one person experiencing it to a group of people. So, yeah, it's very fascinating, and yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy phenomenon, but it's been going on forever. I mean, pretty much since I think the early 1900s, you could say. So yeah, witnesses report a sudden change in their environment's appearance, such as buildings, people's attire, and sounds. So, and it aligns with the historical period they've apparently slipped into. So, yeah.
Does anybody ever?
Similar to like Mandela effect ish.
I mean,
ish.
perhaps, because I did think, like, what if when you're if you experience this and you change something, like, let's say you talk to somebody, would that change the future?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes we've gone over the Mandela effect. We should revisit that because it is very,
Very expansive.
it is. And I feel like some things in my life I knew certain were one way are now another way, and I don't remember the change, you know? And I'm like, the only explanation is either I was young and I didn't take it in correctly, remember it correctly, or something did change.
They're saying, well, the point of the Mandela effect, just brush over really fast.
Yeah.
It's so many people that think just like you. If it was just you,
Yeah.
then you have so they're saying like, okay, there's millions of people who said, no, I saw it this way too. Like,
Right.
Luke,
Yep.
I am your father.
Yes.
Is not the line.
Right. Yeah.
And we're like,
Scotty beam me up. Yep.
it never happened.
Yep.
In this reality, depending on how you think. And then
Yep.
the same thing with the number one that always got me was Ed McMahon. It always be.
Oh, yeah. The Publishers Clearinghouse.
He has nothing to do with
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right. I'll have to revisit that because I remember clearly seeing him in ads with Dick Clark, so it's so weird.
I did it.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin watched it.
Yeah.
I loved infomercials.
Yeah.
As a kid, I loved infomercials.
Right.
I was fascinated with it. So I was like, I seen you give a person a check from Publishers.
Yeah, I mean, my uncle would watch movies, and I would, like, once in a while be like, what's he checking out? And he's watching Glory once. I swear it was Glory. And I remember Matthew Broderick's character, his second in command, which was Gary, played by Gary Owens. He was in Princess Bride. I swear I saw his character lose his face from, like, an explosion. And then years later, in junior high, we went to watch it in history. And I'm like, oh, get ready, this is going to come up. And he died a totally different way. And that was one of my first, like, what the hell? It could have been a different movie. I was mistaken. Or maybe it was an alternate cut. I don't know. But
Was
I
it Dark
swear-
Man?
Huh?
Were you thinking about Dark Man?
No. That movie's
that
hard to watch,
Alcohol?
man.
No, that was Liam Neeson.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And he had to wear the wrap around his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it, but it's like one of those movies like I've seen, but I fell asleep
It's
and I woke
a
up again and fell
it's a
asleep.
Raimi film, right?
Yep. And it had 2 direct-to-video sequels. One of the titles was Die, Dark Man, Die. They didn't really, you know.
Isn't he
Give it too
in
much
the
thought.
DC universe? Isn't he like in...
Dark Man, I think so. He might be. Well, one of those like DC spin-offs.
Perhaps.
Yeah, because I
I'm
know
not
that
sure.
John Constantine, I didn't realize that until...
I think he might just be a
He's
whole,
DC.
a whole new fabrication, I think. I'm not quite sure.
So let's slip back into
Yeah.
this time conversation.
Literally.
Right. Oh, see what I did there?
We just went to another
I love it.
Do people have has anybody like slipped back into like caveman days, or is it still
No, it's
what we
all-
would deem relatively like modern history?
Probably modern history. Okay, so for one incident is the Mobley Jourdain incident. That's the 2 last names of the people involved. This happened in 1911. It's the most famous account of a time slip. So these 2 English women were visiting a palace in France, and they claim to have stumbled upon the late 18th century. And they witnessed Maria Antoinette, among other historical figures. They refer to them as ghosts, so I'm not really clear if how they saw them was kind of a ghostly, transparent thing, or it was like just like we are, physical, like I could see it, you know. So I'm not sure. They did publish a book called An Adventure, and they used different names and aliases, you know. And the book was a sensation, but also ridiculed as well at the same time. The Bold Street time slip, this occurred in 1996. Numerous individuals reported stepping back into the 1950s or 60s while shopping on Bold Street in Liverpool, England. One notable account is of a policeman entering a shop only to find its interior completely changed to reflect a bygone era. So, yeah, we've got back to the 18th century, late 18th century to 50s and 60s. Liverpool is a common spot, I guess, for people to experience this. Beneath Liverpool, I guess there's several like subway tunnels and stuff. But, you know, other than that, I don't think there's really an explanation for what could... they also think maybe hallucinations could bring this about. I mean, perhaps there's gases underneath that...
I mean, I can probably speak to this because I am English.
Yes.
And
hello.
Yeah, I was born kind of around the Liverpool area.
That explains so much.
Right? I was going to say, if there's any time slips, I think it's because they're a bunch of drunks.
Or edibles.
Well, I mean, it's across the river from like Ireland, right? So
yeah. Yep.
There's
Yep. The whole region's got common time slip occurrences. Yeah.
Well, the Titanic left from there too.
Oh.
Yeah. It said Liverpool on the back. There's
Really?
a big launch harbor for people, like boats at the time.
Well, I was telling Dave, like, if I had one of these incidents happen to me, I want to see a beetle. They got to be around there, right? Hey, Paul.
Well,
you're going to be somebody.
Some of them are still alive.
Paul and Ringo, but
Yeah, the floor.
but if you go back to the 50s
Like back
and
in
60s,
the day, like, hey.
you'll see them all, right?
Oh,
They'll all be around there.
Or you could go to like India and then see them when they were in India.
Oh, right. That's after they got famous, though, right?
Yeah. No, that was
You see them as like kids.
that was on there.
Right.
That was their Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds kind of era.
Oh, sure.
LSD.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Sergeant Pepper's.
Oh yeah, they were all.
They were.
I am the walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
We all live in the yellow submarine.
Dude, they were.
What is this powder? I don't know. Snort it.
Hey, Paul Troy.
Hey, Yoko, come here.
Oh wait.
Ooh, Yoko. Too
This
soon.
wasn't her. We didn't really
No.
invite her.
Okay, you know what? If you guys are in Liverpool,
John, I know
and
she's your girl,
Yeah.
but this was our moment.
If you're transported back in Liverpool, warn John about Yoko. Like,
Right.
stay away. Maybe he'll end up being alive.
Just don't let her be at the party. That's
Right,
all. Just
right.
stay home, Yoko.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you
Say
heard her
no
music
to
before?
Yoko.
I've seen the Chuck Berry clip. That's
Have you seen
fun.
her music? It's.
That's it.
I'm an artist. I'm not that much of an artist, evidently. That's what I've learned. And
Does she
the
give
artist-
lessons, please? Does she?
Her and Corey Feldman.
Oh boy.
That kind of art, I don't know how to navigate that at all. I don't know what to do with
Those are some needed time slips to maybe change things for the better.
it. Pull a Deadpool on everybody. Right when this reading the Green Lantern.
Well, I wonder where some of these accounts, like if they're legit,
Yeah.
and people were able to interact with past people,
Right.
could they have influenced a different outcome? And maybe that's what we are dealing with, like a Mandela
Can
effect.
they interact with them, or is it just like you're kind of looking at it through like
Almost
a two-way mirror?
Kind of
I think it's that. It's like they're just witnessing.
witnessing the
Yes,
events.
they're not really interacting or
I
anything
guess
like
my
that.
question would be: is these the people that have stated they've experienced these things? Is it random, or is it similar to, like, out of the movies you named?
Yeah.
The one I'm most familiar with is the Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
He had like somewhat I don't want to use dictatorship, but he could direct
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he was based off of what he wrote?
No, I think the whole idea about
Or
time
is it
slips
just
is
randomly starts?
Yeah, time slips is just random. Like
Okay.
everyday people who are not even thinking about any phenomenon such as that. It just all of a sudden they're like, where the hell am I? And I don't know if it's like a dream state they claim they are kind of in or not. I don't know if there's many interactions with people. I would like to think it's kind of like a dream state, you know, perhaps they can't even read things, like, because supposedly in your dreams you can't read, like the words aren't, or backwards or some crazy shit. I learned that from Batman the animated series. That's my research, right? Yeah, yeah.
Most of everything I learned.
From Batman animated series.
Yeah.
Yes.
That show was amazing.
Oh, it was
How to Raise a Child, Batman the animated series.
Of course.
How to Love a Woman, Batman the animated series.
Love that cat suit.
So-
Sorry.
Hey, Dad, what's down the alleyway? We're not going to find out. Keep walking. Keep
walking.
No, we're watching a show right now.
Do you want to be Batman?
I'm not going to tell you the show, because if I tell you the show and then I tell you what I'm going to tell you, then you're like, oh fuck you, spoiled. But the woman, the lady in it has Alzheimer's, so she keeps having these confusion moments where she's like living a different piece of her history.
Oh, okay.
But what's really cool is that the guy that she's living with now, because her son comes back to town, he's talking to this guy who's not his dad, and he's like, you know, what are you doing here? And he's like, I came to your mother's door, you know, because somebody had called in and said they'd heard gunshots, right? And she came in, she looked at me, and she's like, don't ever leave. And he's like, I won't. He's like, and, you know, they'd have been, like, you know, lovers before that. Anyways, long story short, fast forward to the future, she's running away from somebody, and she's having these episodes, and then she's hiding, and she's trying to find bullets to a gun, and then her memory, she's like slipping into other memories that are kind of like trying to give her hints as to where she put the bullets. And then she's hiding in the garage, and then the guy walks in, and she's accidentally shoots, you know, her lover.
Oh.
And then she's like, then she slips into another memory where she's at home, and she comes downstairs because the door knocks, and the guy, she opens it, and it's him again, and he's like, hey, you know, just got a call that they heard some gunshots, and she's like, looks at him like she had just shot the guy, and then she's like, don't ever leave. And it was just like, what the fuck? Because it was like, it happened in the past, so he was there because of it, but because he was there, then he got shot, and then the shooting was the one that they heard in the past. They're like, what the?
So you watched Madam Web, you're saying?
I've got shit to do with my life, so no.
Instant class.
That's better than Madam Web. Yes. So yeah, theories and explanations. Quantum mechanics is one. Some therapists speculate time slips could be manifestations of quantum phenomenon, where parallel universes or dimensions momentarily converse. The universe has a speed limit, basically. The speed of light, which is, you know, faster than anything in our universe can travel. And then the multiverse theory is basically people traveling faster than the speed of light during these time slips. So, yeah. Psychological skeptics argue that time slips may be hallucinations triggered by certain psychological states, or the brain's misinterpretation of sensory information. Geography and electromagnetic anomalies. Specific locations where time slips frequently occur may have unique properties affecting human perception of time. So,
Or follow me down this one.
yeah, I'm following you.
So I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah.
right? And he said the likelihood, statistically, is that we're actually in a simulation, right?
Yeah.
So because if we got so smart, we got to a point, we build a computer that could build its own simulations.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that simulation would get to a point where it would also create a simulation within the simulation,
And so on.
and so on and so on. So
Yep.
it, like infinite levels of simulation.
And looking back, it's like
Right. And
Russian-
so you're
Russian
like,
doll
okay,
effects.
so,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, okay, so if we're, you know, if we've, all of these simulations are out there, what's the chances of that were the original one?
Right.
Very slim.
Right. Yep.
Very, very slim.
Yep.
So theoretically, it's most likely that we're in a simulation. So what if slips are like a glitch in the simulation? Because have you ever done that?
Like buffering?
Well, like if there's a guy who does a YouTube channel where he's like, he kind of breaks the game's map and then takes the camera and then shows you other parts of the game.
Oh, sure.
So it's like, what
Yep.
does the, it'd be like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
What does the fucking Joe Baker, whatever the guy's name, do when he's not on screen?
Okay.
And you see the asset is like out here somewhere, just kind of floating along. Then it renders, and then it brings him in when he's like actually getting into the scene.
Yeah.
And then it starts, programming that. Well, what if, no, I'm here. All of a sudden it breaks, like the simulation glitches, and then we get put outside the map
Yeah.
into, or it loads, it renders
Right.
the wrong, the wrong settings.
Right.
I had a similar idea. I was thinking like more like GTA, and you mess up on a level, and you just reset that level and replay it. And so you did that scenario the first time, but you went that direction,
Right.
and then you play that level again because you didn't pass it, and now you go this direction. So that could be the butterfly effect equivalent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've raced cars in GTA where I'm going so fast, the map can't keep the simulated environment.
Right.
It's like blank, and then it's coming slowly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe it just loaded the wrong assets.
Yeah. So Fast and
All
Furious is all about time slipping. When they hit the NOS, they're time slipping. As your next movie. And then end it.
You're welcome, Vin Diesel.
Family.
You know what? I think those movies are total ludicrous.
Yes, they are.
You like how I dropped that in there?
They are.
Bitch.
Get out the way.
Actually, two things.
Yeah.
First thing I think of is, you know how, and let me frame this right. Last time I looked at the statistics, 80% of the world's population has never been in a physical confrontation. That's a good thing, right? So when you watch these movies about boxing or a Rocky movie or something like that, it's kind of like if you've ever been in like a long fight. Since I train martial arts, it feels like you're in this tunnel with that individual,
Yeah.
and things start to slow down the more educated you are on the sport. So like, someone throws a punch, it's really fast to a person who doesn't fight it.
Yeah.
Whereas I see it, I'm like, oh, move my head.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it's almost like time slows down
Right.
within a fight. I had
Did you get the
guys,
squiggly lines above your head?
I can't see them.
you're like, oh,
Nora.
Get on the ground and stand up against you. Yeah, or something like that. But then I think the same thing of like, okay, you're talking about the motorcycle thing,
Yeah.
and let's just say someone gets hit.
Yeah.
There's almost this kind of time skip while you're in the air,
Yeah.
where it just seems like you're in slow motion. Like I've experienced something like that, where it's like, I fell, but it feels like you've been falling for the last 5
Right.
minutes, but it's really like a second,
You're like, did I leave the coffee pot on?
and it's just like,
When am I going to get to the store?
and all these thoughts come. So does that count towards that time skip type of thing? Is what I'm wondering. Because there's things you can do that makes it feel like time slowed down.
Like maybe these two ladies in the first encounter fell down a sewage train or something, and then they got their head conked, and then they were like, "Oh, we're in a
But
different."
to have the same experience,
Yeah, that's true.
that makes it interesting.
Yeah, right.
Like if you're saying, okay, like when you're doing stuff in pairs or multiple groups,
That
and they're
gets
all sitting there-
complex. Like, how do
Yeah.
you? Which would mean like what the hallucination factor is? Everyone's breathing the same gas or whatever the hell causes it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But to
have the exact same experience.
Yeah,
To an extent.
Right. Unless it's kind of like a foggy look at whatever it was, and then one of them says, "Oh, it was late 1800s," and then they're like, "Ah, makes sense. Yeah, I'll say late 1800s." Yeah,
I've seen something like that before.
yeah,
I've seen somebody My mom used to run daycare, and she had these two boys that were brothers, and they were sleeping in the bunk bed. I just so happened to be using the restroom. I came out, and he's like, "Are you coming?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way. We're going. All right, I'm gonna get on the jungle gym first. All right, I'm gonna get on the slide first." They're talking to each other. One's on the top.
Oh, whoa.
But you could tell they're asleep. They're not faking it. They didn't know I was there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're having the same dream.
Yeah.
They're in each other's. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
I literally
that's trippy.
saw it in real time, so that's why I know it's legitimate for me. And I'm just like, they're talking to each other, and I'm like, so maybe you can have that kind of experience together.
Psychedelic connection.
Yeah.
with the
Well,
minds.
them being siblings, I think, makes more sense than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what those ladies were,
I don't think they were.
but they may be close friends. And
Yeah, I think they were close
Bonds.
friends for sure. Yeah. Well, the other fascinating thing about all these accounts is, well, it's no, I mean, it hasn't been accounted for. Like, people have visited the past, not the other way around. Like, we haven't seen the future.
I
There's
think
really
the
no
concept-
accounts of that.
They say, well, the future is not written yet.
Right. Doc Brown.
So since it's not written, you gotta. That's weird.
Yeah. The past is finite more than the future is, basically, right? Yeah.
You would have to think though, like, given all the laws of it, and you're like, okay, so you could time travel, you just need to go faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier to go into the future?
Actually, I think
Because like,
Stephen Hawking.
because I'm not even trying.
Yeah.
And I'm traveling into the future right now.
Right.
You gonna share some of that?
Come with me.
Come with me if you want to live.
What do you? What's that? Why's your nose white?
No, I'm just saying, like, right? Watch.
Yeah.
I'm now 5 seconds into the future. Right?
Yeah.
The
Sure.
future is so fast that it
Right,
already
but
passed.
it's like going into the future is slow. So
Yeah.
you just even go slower than time to then get into the future.
Yeah. Stephen Hawking said it was more likely you could travel into the future versus the past, because the past you would need like another self or some shit to be there.
Okay, so like here's the timeline, right? We're like shooting like this.
Yeah.
And like to get, so it's like this, but to go like backwards,
Yeah.
right? You'd have to go further out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's all to do with distance, but the thing is, it's fucking distance too, right?
Yeah.
Like stars that blew up like 1 billion years ago.
Yeah,
we can still see in the sky.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's the sense of time travel. It took that long for us
Right.
to like it to get here and register that as, and then in like you'll be, oh, it's not there. You're like, wow, that star like died 1 billion years ago.
Right.
And it only took effect. So like if you want to go along that fucking light's lifespan,
Yeah.
you can go kind of.
Well, and they even start discovering new planets here and there, right? Like they found one a couple years back. Like it's like Earth, but before all that, it was like, nope, it's just us. There's nothing else like us out there.
Just
Oh,
popped
there is
up.
now. Yeah, it's just like, is that a
Is that
Mandela effect,
advancement?
or is that the universe
Is that
is
advancement in
overlapping?
technology too, though?
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
I think the thing is, it's like the universe is just
didn't read it right.
impossibly large,
Oh yeah.
right?
it's
Like the people
enormous.
do not have a concept
Yeah.
of
Fathom.
it's not.
Unless you go into space and look down and say, wow, that's
Well, you
everything.
can't. I mean, like the concept of nothing
Yeah.
is like, oh, it's nothing, but it's like, no, it is something. Like the concept of the true concept of nothing is impossible to think about,
Right.
because any concept of nothing you have is something.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, ah,
Nothing
damn
is
it! Like you cannot not think
Yeah.
of.
Can't let it
You
run.
can't
Right.
think of nothing,
Right.
because as soon as you're thinking of nothing, it's actually something. You're like, son of a bitch. Just like the universe, it's so
Yeah.
freaking big.
Right.
Like, there's no like they say, like if a lion could speak English, we still couldn't understand it, because the frame of references are so far removed.
Right.
Right? Just
Yep.
like the universe is so fucking big.
Right.
You have nothing to compare it to.
Right.
I like where you were going with the distance of like going to the future compared to going to the past.
Yeah.
It made me think of like temperatures. So like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, blah, blah, blah. But then going the opposite direction would be like -1, -50, -60, -70. So it's like you would have to go.
But
if we're
it
thinking
stopped.
linear like that.
But it's like being cold stops at some point, right? There's an absolute zero.
I thought that was infinite.
No, there's an absolute zero where everything stops.
Would that be the equivalent of the Big Bang?
No, so I mean,
The
if you
jump
look at
off of
the temperature wise, you keep going so low, then you hit this point. It's called absolute zero, and that means like atoms stop moving, right?
Right.
And everything's just totally suspended. Whereas like the fucking sun, that's wicked hot, right? You just go forever on how hot you can get,
Yeah.
right? Like so,
There's a
relatively
cutoff for
speaking,
cold.
like if this is the zero, the baseline zero.
Or did it just create
Cold
the
goes
stop
like
counting?
will go like that. Hot is like just keeps
It's keep
going.
going.
Oh yeah,
Right.
like, wicked hot.
Until it becomes nothing.
Right, but like absolute zero is the just things like it ceases to like.
I've never heard of the
the
absolute
molecules
zero
that like
It's a good drink.
It's a drink. Oh wow!
Should be.
See how gullible I am. I was like,
Your insides just freeze like.
where did you get that from? Absolute zero.
We had a bar out in Newton. This is totally off topic, but we called one of the drinks a running dick punch.
You only need to drink a little bit of that.
And then people would order it because they just wanted to say it.
Yeah.
It's like when I go out for sushi. We go to sushi at Co Basil quite often, and every time I'm there, I ordered this thing. It's called the Dirty Old Man. It's great. It's great. But she's like, whenever the waitress brings it over, she's like, so who's the dirty old man? I'm like, that's me. I am a dirty old man.
So, there is a concept I read a long time ago, and the idea was this: your subconscious is not aware of what day, what time, what year it is. It's your subconscious. It's more like a recording device. It just records
Yeah.
your life, and the way our subconscious is supposed to technically talk to us is through our dreams. But that's not where I'm going with this. The concept was, if you were to listen to the music of your youth, like you're 15 years old, the music and how you felt,
Yeah.
and that was becoming the norm, your subconscious would eventually relay to your cells of your body that this is how you reacted under that music.
Yeah.
So your body would it would like make you young, because it would match the energy of that music, that frequency.
Oh, sure.
So they're saying, like, if you were to listen
Yeah.
like to rebellious music and you're like 16 years old and
Right.
F you dad, F you mom, and hope that doesn't happen. I hope guys didn't do that. But, you know,
We're explicit. So.
yeah. No, I'm saying like that rebellious.
Oh,
energy.
yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I
Good
got you.
example.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the rebel.
Yeah.
Basically, your cells would eventually morph back to that time period.
Yeah, and the accounts in the 1911 of these women, I think they were old enough to be around in the late 1800s. So you could say that is something could have triggered that within their own time, their own age. Also, the people who said they experienced the 50s and 60s, perhaps they were alive during the times they're seeing. However, you know, the further out we get from the 90s is when that happened. People are going to obviously be younger and so on. So it's interesting to see if that has something to play into it. There's a familiarity to it. That's how you're transported. It's like an inner feeling, subconscious type of thing. But then to have a group experience that the same way,
Yes.
is kind of where it gets a little, you know.
That's something we're going
How?
to investigate in another episode, because that's
Yeah.
a whole nother concept.
Right.
I like it.
Well, and have we seen proof of these time slips? Most likely, probably time travel. There's, I was thinking, eventually you'll go into time periods where there's recording devices. And so there's this famous YouTube clip that came out in 2010. It's titled Chaplin's Time Traveler. This is from 1928. This is the premiere of Chaplin's The Circus at LA theater. And there's a woman seen walking by holding an object to her ear. And it's like a thin black device. And
like
people
a cell phone. I see
yeah,
that.
yeah. I remember seeing that clip. And it was viewed millions of times, of course. Subject to televised stories. Explanations, they said it could be a portable hearing aid, which was being developed at the time. Acousticon was manufactured by Miller Reese Hutchinson at the time, I guess. So there's those possible explanations. I have seen the clip. I need to revisit it. But also there's works of art supposedly that have glimpses of people with futuristic devices. I mean, hell, you can go back to the pyramids, right? There's all kinds of crazy shit on the walls.
I have to ask the question: who would she have been talking to if it was a cell phone?
That's true. There would have been to be at least one other
Unless she
person.
was
You gotta
crazy.
be talking to somebody. But
Unless she was trying to hear her own voice with the device. I mean,
Or
I
she
don't
was
know.
listening to a voicemail. But who called her? Oh,
where's these towers?
right.
Who else has another
Well,
device like it?
your SIM card holds stuff, so I don't even need a signal. It's in your device. As long as your device has power, right? Battery life. And once that dies, you're fucked, basically. I don't know.
I think though, it's the same thing with people that make they'll see something and they'll say there's a face in something that doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
I think people just look.
Oh yeah.
They look
Mother
for
Mary.
hey,
Yep. And
that's something that.
that was from the 90s. There was a piece of toast, I think. People were like, oh, it's the Virgin Mother. Yeah.
Virgin Mary or something like that.
Yep.
Sure.
But there's photographs. I mean, there's all kinds of.
Isn't that Jesus?
Yeah,
Jesus and the
I remember
Cheerios.
that too.
Well, forget he's saying Jeebus.
And they keep that Cheerio bowl for years.
Eat
Preserve it.
It's saying ooh.
God talked to me through Cheerios.
He didn't say much.
Here's something else that's
That individual, I
fascinating
love
to
that
me.
individual.
Oh.
I mean, if it's like a dream when you do this time slipping, right?
Right?
Yeah.
You probably maybe can't conjure up thoughts of what you could do. But if there's cars around you, you could technically travel to other places within your time slip. That would be fascinating. If I time slip now to this area, I would want to travel and see, places that don't exist no more from my childhood, or people that aren't around anymore.
Like Hooters before it was Jethro's.
Right. Well, it still exists at the Mall of America. So
Hooters does?
Yeah. Make a pilgrimage
Jethro's
to that.
became Hooters? Hooters became Jethro's?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind today, Dave. You're killing me. I did not know this stuff.
Yeah.
No, but what would be
I know of all the family-friendly restaurants in Des Moines.
Yep.
especially the sushi ones.
Yep.
I judged a bikini contest at the Hooters once.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just showed.
If you didn't
In
know me,
handcuffs, or-
I understand, but if you did know me, the fact that I didn't get an invite.
Oh, I was back up in Calgary. Yeah, I was back up north.
Maybe you should have had a time slip, although that would have been in the future. So, yeah.
Maybe I could time slip and do all the wet t-shirt. All times.
Juan's back. You're like Chevy Chase from Hot Tub Time Machine. You're always in the time around places, and
Dude, I would have an actual thing that I would have written out, and I'm like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Read this.
Yeah.
Here's my card.
It'll make sense." And then I read, you're a time traveler. You've known me for many of years.
Yeah.
Your favorite color is. Your name is. Sally. It's got all your answers on it. Read that. Anyways, ladies, proceed.
But one thing we can leave on is if you could select a time slip incident, where would you want to go? Or if it was around the area you're at, I guess that's what happens with these people. It's the area they're in is a time slip. Where would I know you weren't here for a long time, so you'd be like, I don't know, or to stretch that out anywhere,
Like here in your home?
or just in this area, a time slip, if you will. Like
Before the Super Bowl.
you just want to go back like
Put
a
money,
month.
like put money on it.
Put money on the Cubbies. But again,
You like
Be a millionaire real fast.
bet on the 49ers. Damn it, I messed up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, not this Super Bowl, but
wouldn't it suck though
the
if
previous Super Bowls.
you're not guaranteed like
Isn't that what Biff did? And
Yeah, he did.
back
It became
But
evil.
that was time travel. That was mechanics that did that for him. A time slip is not guaranteed. Like you don't know how long you're going to be in it. So you could have been like, I'm going to place my bet, and then you're back into the present. Like shit, I was so
That's
close.
rude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
if I have control of this, then there's a part of me that's rude because you know what I'm about to do, buddy. I'm about to hook us all up.
You know,
The whole subconscious and everything. I'm about to hook you up, buddy.
I know.
What about in our own time?
I know which one I'd do.
Okay, go.
It was that time I was in Omaha and I ate a burrito at a Chinese buffet. I would time slip back to that point and tell myself not to eat that burrito.
It doesn't belong there. The burrito time slipped into the
Burrito
Chinese
and a
buffet.
Chinese buffet.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Those
Real
guys
bad
don't
idea.
connect at all.
That's what I'm saying. I'd slip back to that point and be like, you do not want to eat that burrito, buddy. I'm like, are you me from an older year? Yes, I am.
I'm the
And then
dirty old man.
And then I'd slip back. And then I'd be like, oh, I feel
It's a
better.
battle over the tongs. He goes for it. You're like, no. And you're like, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
If I could do that, I think there was a back when I was like in high school and stuff, girls used to make me really nervous. And there was a girl that made a very awesome offer to me, and I chickened out. What? I would love to just do that, but I want myself to be there, the younger version of me.
Yes. Yeah.
And just go. Don't ask questions who I am. I look like you.
But I'm
Figure that out.
bleeding. You hit me. Like,
Yeah, just
go to the
go.
nurse after.
Go with her. Nothing exciting else happens today. Trust me. Go with her. Just go with her.
And then you come back to the present and you have like 20 kids. And you're like, oh shit.
And herpes.
Gotta roll the dice in life sometimes. Gotta roll the dice.
It's like Quantum Leap. Oh boy.
Quantum herpes. Oh, shit.
Hold on, let me see.
That's a
Let me
new
check and see if I
phenomenon.
have the memory of that day. Oh shit.
There were signs all over the place. I shouldn't have done this.
And like I did ask her the question, what's that?
Why is Dad pacing the backyard? He's
Why
trying
is
to get
that
to a
red?
time slip to go back and change again.
Why does this hurt? Why does this sting?
Like, son of a...
Oh yeah, man. I didn't go that direction, Dave, but it gives me more to think about.
Oh, yeah. You come back just riddled with disease. Like, ah,
I'm my own grandpa.
If I'm here,
no! Like,
and I'm native
why
here,
did I do that?
Where's my limbs? We had to take them.
at least I made it back.
Come back, you're just a head in a jar. Oh, God.
I remember a time when I was walking through the... What? No. No.
Well, see, I used to, as a kid, before you went into like more thought. I mean, even now, people don't probably go into a depth thought of time travel if they could. I wouldn't want to change things because I believe in paradoxes. So it's like I wouldn't have my kids. I wouldn't have anything if I change. Like, yes, I would love to change things if I was guaranteed nothing would change in the present. But yeah. So it's like, yeah, I guess I wouldn't time travel in the end. Unless I totally hated my life. And yeah, obviously you'd want to change things. But yeah. But if you go back to like wishy-washy time travel, yeah, there's lots of things I'd love to change and see again. It would be cool to go revisit, like especially when times seemed more simple, like the 80s and 90s to me, you know. Especially with technology, you know. We didn't have phones. We had awesome game systems. I'm thinking all the good stuff, not the bad stuff.
I think I would actually go a little bit more pure, to be honest.
The foods.
Like to be able to have like a conversation with like a loved one that passed away or something.
Yeah, that too. Yes, obviously.
So like
yeah.
I'd definitely go
say a proper goodbye that you regretted.
Yeah.
But then again, that would maybe change.
I just have a conversation with my grandmother and be like, "Oh, Grandma, I'm from the future. Any words of wisdom you want to drop on me before I have to go back and blink out?"
Don't sleep with that girl in the other times lived.
She a hoe.
Yeah, I already put that in history. Sorry.
And tell Dave not to eat that taco
That was
from my
before this
restaurant.
conversation. A little late. I should have came and visit you first, but I don't know how to reverse things yet, so I'm gonna work on that. 'Cause evidently I'm getting the hang of it, and that explains the scratching.
Let's just say you're gonna have the clap on, and it's not the device. Yeah.
She's like, "Well, you need to get that checked out. I'm gonna find the right time to get it done."
Oh.
I didn't think it would come with me through time.
Right.
It's a bugger, man. You can't get rid of that.
Or does it? When they say it stays with you forever, it stays with you forever.
And through time.
No matter what time period. Dang it. She was hot. Yeah, look at the bright side.
That's all that matters.
She's hot.
Oh, you know, we should make a movie called The Time Clap.
Ooh.
Get on it.
Is it a dramedy?
Going back, you're like telling your younger self, you need to do this.
You need
And
to
then
do
you
this.
come back, you're like, oh no!
No, Dave, you know what you gave me, Dave? Well, I would have done it anyways, but like, I would have gave myself a handful of condoms.
Go nuts.
Yeah, just
Coming to storyboard cinemas.
where to?
Near you.
Where to?
Yes.
That thing's like stainless steel right now, anyways. You'll still feel it. Not
Vinyl.
that back. Yeah, that thing's.
Slip into the future,
You
get
can-
some like.
You can
Yes.
cut glass with that thing. I know.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Doesn't do it like that anymore. In my time, but you can cut glass in that thing. I already know. So just put on two.
Well, yeah.
So,
Jokes aside, what overall do you think time slipping is a thing? Could it be a thing, especially with the simulation possibility?
I honestly do think it could be a thing because, like, the concept of what they say even about aliens. There's a concept they say they're really not aliens. They're just us from the future,
Yeah.
warning us of if we continue on a certain path.
Yeah.
That we'll end up looking like them.
Right.
And being like them. So maybe we already are currently dealing with time travelers.
Well, deja vu. I mean, that's probably another subject, obviously, but yeah. I mean, there's
Well, I
kinds
think
of weird
that
shit.
I think that's the concept of you're viewing multiple dimensions at once.
right, which could play into time slipping. They're overlapping. Yeah. There's cracks.
I think it's sure
Cracks in the
it's
pavement.
possible. Why not?
Yeah.
Like I would just think like if they can travel from their time period back to us,
Mm-hmm.
either we cannot because we don't have the technology yet, or
Yeah.
we have and it's just very hush hush,
Yeah.
or it doesn't exist at all.
What about you, Dave?
nah, probably not.
Probably not.
You're probably not what
I'm probably not slipping at any time soon.
Yeah.
you
Right.
would go at any particular time.
Except for that burrito incident.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that wasn't the best day for you.
It was hard.
I bet.
I had to change hotel rooms.
Gave him herpes.
Maybe it's a life lesson to not eat burritos from fucking Asian
The
restaurant.
herpes, The herpy incident.
It seemed like a bad idea. I was like, I don't know if I trust
One
this.
of these things did not fit here.
Hey, man.
You know who made the burrito? That girl.
Yeah, evidently.
It's all connected.
Yeah. Oh my
You're
God.
gonna hate me for this, but she was Asian.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
She was actually.
It's all connected.
Oh, God damn it. You went back in time, buggered that poor Asian woman.
She was a good friend with my cousin, my female cousin. And she's like, you know, my friend likes you, right? And I'm like, yeah. But I was like a senior, and she was like, I don't know what grade, but she was under me. And I was just like, whatever. And then she said some very bold statement to me, and I was like, oh, yeah. I'm not ready for this. But she offered a service, and it was very nice.
And then she went to work for a buffet.
And I punked out because my nerves didn't know how to deal with it. And I chickened out. But she was Asian, and which means now I know I should never eat a burrito from her.
Or hers.
Yeah, right.
It's her taco, not a burrito.
Well, maybe she has a burrito.
I don't want a burrito.
This is going off the rails. Oh gosh.
I do not want a burrito.
Any plugs before we go?
If she was Latina, I would have.
Put that tamale away.
Any plugs before we go?
Oh, I want to give a shout out to Joe. I told you, Joe, I'll shout you out on this episode. Joe's a guy.
You kept him waiting this whole time. He's like, God damn it, I gotta watch the whole fucking thing. Give a shout.
Watch the, and I'm not making this up. Joe's a cook. So here we go. Joe, be careful with the burritos. But
Dave falls from 'em every time,
shit.
no matter where they're at.
There's no way around this. I just gotta get through it. Like, Joe. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. I told you I'd shout you out. Joe became a subscriber on the spot. So
Sweet.
shout out to Joe. Anybody else watching, if you're not subscribed, what's your problem?
What's your problem?
What's your problem? Is it because of what Dave said?
Probably.
Like that one guy, he's just really racist. He's just like he's got something against Asian people making Mexican food.
Just burritos. But he loves maple syrup.
No, yeah, I'd like to give it a shout out to Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Yo, Joe.
Go, Joe. And, he liked Pink Floyd, so that's what
Nice.
broke the ice on our conversation.
Does he like candles? Dave, take it away.
He likes
Oh, you
chocolate.
like that?
Oh,
See how he set you up?
absolutely.
It depends.
Yeah, you got a candle for the day after you eat that burrito at an Asian buffet. Hide your shame.
Was it a beefy burrito?
I don't know.
I don't think it was beef. We don't know what it was, right?
The meat, mystery meat.
Yes.
Yeah, I tell you what, man.
Mystery meat,
I ate it.
Unicorn.
And that was
clearly.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
Sasquatch.
fucking
Yeah.
time slipped through that one.
When you went to the restroom, I know. That was a time skip.
Blacked out and woke up in the future.
You talk to the things you ate. Like,
you
why
sweat.
did you eat me? Like,
Just sweaty.
Woken up so dehydrated.
you've become me.
Just colors. Oh my God.
Well,
Where am I?
everyone out there,
When am I?
comment on time slips what you think, and yeah, subscribe. Find us under the Field of Geeks umbrella wherever you download or stream your podcast, and of course YouTube and fieldofgeeks.com. So yeah,
This is a time skip right now
yes,
for you. And you.
And Joe.
and you behind you,
And you
Yeah.
behind you.
Yes, yes. So all right, guys. Well, this was interesting.
It was
We solved nothing as usual.
It was something.
Yes. It won't be on Wikipedia for people to read, for sure. But
The time skip is gonna be
yeah, no, it was an interesting topic, and I know about time slips now. So if I ever experience one, I'll probably shit my pants in the past. So with that said,
What are you gonna do with the shitty pants?
well, hopefully I'll go to the present and it'll be gone. So, but then that could have caused an accident and a whole ripple effect, and then now I have 20 kids. Yeah, see.
Well, eco, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
But I got my John Wick's candle.
you're Josh.
I am Josh.
You're Dave.
You're Juan. And you're Joe.
And you're Joe. Shout out, Joe. Take care, guys.
Take care.